Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kendi Thompson Oluji. I just want to use the opportunity to speak briefly about our recently concluded project, which is a sensitization to 20 public secondary schools in Lagos State. Um, yes, it is the second phase of a project that commenced this year. Yes, the first phase of it was um, in May, yes, where we visited 11 public secondary schools under Oshodi Solo local government. And because of um, what the result we got from the field and the realization that many students are not even aware of sexual and gender-based violence, especially the acts that characterize sexual and gender-based violence, and also the laws that Lagos state government has put in place, and also the various protocols and charters that actually prohibit, prevent, and stipulate punishment for the violators. So many are not aware of this. So we decided to extend it to additional schools. So which now see us going to 20 public secondary schools outside Oshodi Solo to Ikeja and Mushin. So the project actually extended beyond Oshodi Solo. So it now comprises of three local government in Lagos State, which is Isolo, Oshodi Solo, Mushin, and Ikeja. So what are the things we discuss with the student? How do we carry out the sensitization? I know we discuss the acts that characterize sexual and gender-based violence as stated in that law, Protection Against Domestic Violence Law 2007. So we spoke about that, and we spoke about the act that characterize it. We spoke about physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, economic abuse, verbal abuse, exploitation, intimidation, harassment, incest, stalking, deprivation, denial of basic education, controlling or abusive behavior that cause imminent harm to health, safety, and well-being of victims. So we spoke around all that, and then then the next thing we did was to speak about the laws. No, we spoke about the incidences, the cases, which is to encourage anyone that is experiencing of such that they are not alone, because oftentimes people find it difficult to report cases of sexual and gender-based violence. If their rights have been violated, they find it difficult to speak out simply because they are confused. They don't know. Especially when it is offense against children, so they don't really understand what is happening to them. They believe that they are the only one the thing is happening to. They don't really know, understand it, so and they find it difficult to actually speak out. So we try to encourage them that it's not only happening to you, it's happening to numerous others, and that coming out is the only way that we can actually get rid of this problem. So we look at the global statistics, and when I look at global statistics, we call the WHO statistics, the World Health Organization statistics, and then we bring it down to national level. Then we quote the National Demographic Health Survey statistics. Then, like quoting a few of Oxfam reports, statistics, and UN Women statistics. And then when we bring it down to state, Lagos State government, then we quote the DSV statistics, that is Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. We quote their statistics, which is to give them confidence that it's not only happening to them, it's happening to numerous other people. And then we'll come to the effect. When we come to the effect, we are doing this to let them know that we are aware that if you are experiencing this, we are aware of what you are passing through, and again that because they are students, we encourage them that look, we know sexual and gender-based violence has psychological and social effects on you. We know you find it difficult to concentrate in class. And you know that when you find it difficult to concentrate in class, learning becomes difficult. And when learning becomes difficult, it becomes very difficult for the teachers to get feedback. And when the feedback mechanism is poor, then learning becomes very mundane and uninteresting. So we are aware of all that. And we also know that you suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, which is um, the let's say aftermath effect of everything that has happened to them. So many of them exhibit things like um, suicidal thought, depression, excessive anger, misogyny, sexism, sexual addiction, low self-esteem, mental illness. All of these things are what even sexual addiction, masturbation. So all of these are what some of the students experience. Especially we have some note written because we pass the note to them, and some of the things written on the note, we have issues where a lady actually reported a fellow student, on behalf of a fellow student, is addicted to sex. So we have different cases addicted to masturbation, addicted to pornography. So this thing is real. Sexual and gender-based violence is actually very disruptive, very, very disruptive. The effect of which is grievous, and that is why we must join hands to see a way we can put an end to it. The victims are suffering, the survivors are suffering. I may not like to say victim, let me say survival, but I like using interchangeably because I believe when you are a survivor, that is when you're able to live about the specter of the past. But when you still carry the pain of the past in your heart, then maybe you are still a victim. I don't know. So it's very real. It's very real. And many of these children at a very young age, they have been exposed to different manner of things. Many of them at a very tender age. Now, the next thing we did was to speak about the laws. We spoke about the laws to let them know that since we are aware that this thing is happening, so what are we then doing about this? So the government have put in place, government at all level put in place laws to prohibit, to prevent, and to punish the violators, to punish the offenders. Then we will start by even looking at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948, Article 5 of it, which says no human should be subject to torture, degrading, cruel, or inhuman treatment. Then we look at the Protocol to Africa Charter on Human and People's Rights, which was adopted in June 10, 1998, and came to effect January 25, 2004. And then we look at the Child Right Act, which Nigeria is signatory to, and which was domesticated in Nigeria in 2003 under the Olusegun Obasanjo administration. Then we then look at the Nigeria Constitution, 1999 Constitution, Section 34, Sub 1, Sub A. Then we look at the Lagos State Protection Against Domestic Violence Law 2007, which came to effect in May 2007. Then we look at the relevant part of the law to encourage them that there is law in place. Please try to access this law, and you can only access this law by speaking out. And finally, an admonition, which is to encourage them to speak out, to shun silent and be heard. When you see something, you say something, report on behalf of a friend, report anything that's happening to you. Anybody is touching you in the place that the person is touching you, please speak out. Let us be able to help you. So and then finally we try to speak on what we call the concept of humanity, the Ubuntu. I am human, and I believe you are another human. I believe in my humanity, which is to encourage them to respect every human, and also to encourage them that we are all human, and no one deserves to be treated in an unfair or unjust way, inhuman or degrading way. That we should respect our humanity and treat everybody with the dignity of their human person. This is just a summary of everything that happened. I think maybe I'll be doing a video, next video, or one of our I will be doing a next video on this, and then we'll speak more on everything that happened. But this is just a brief summary of everything that happened. I know I use brief and summary. Summary is actually very brief, but brief summary means is I would have loved to say more things, so it's not actually summary. So it's brief, more short than my summary. So that is everything that happened. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Please, if you are watching this on our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If it is on Facebook, please stay tuned. More content are coming. We're just getting started. Our goal is to build sustainable peace, to facilitate sustainable peace in Africa, and the journey is still very far.